Ladies, can I ask you something personal? When you run your fingers through your hair in the shower, do you notice more strands than you'd like circling the drain? When you look at your brush, does your heart sink just a little? I know that feeling, and I'm here to tell you something that might surprise you. What if I told you that the solution to thinning hair, brittle strands, and that widening part line isn't hiding in expensive salon treatments or miracle serums, but right there in your kitchen? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change everything about your relationship with your hair. And the number one food on this list, well, you've probably been avoiding it because of an outdated myth that I'm going to completely debunk today. Before we dive in, I want you to understand something crucial. Hair loss in women over 60 isn't just about vanity. It's about feeling like yourself. It's about looking in the mirror and recognizing the vibrant, confident woman you've always been. And here's what the beauty industry doesn't want you to know. Your hair is literally made from what you eat. Every single strand growing from your scalp right now is constructed from nutrients you consumed weeks and months ago. So if you're putting the wrong fuel in, you're going to get disappointing results, no matter how many expensive products you pile on top. But here's the exciting part. When you feed your body the right foods, particularly these 5 powerhouses I'm about to reveal, you're not just stopping hair loss, you're actually reversing damage at the follicle level, improving thickness, restoring shine, and yes, even encouraging new growth in areas that have been thinning for years. Go ahead and comment your age and where you're watching from. Then subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. The last part of this video reveals one simple step that helps your body adjust naturally. Let me start with food number 5, and I want you to pay close attention because this one surprises a lot of people. Pumpkin seeds. Yes, those little green seeds you might sprinkle on a salad without much thought are actually one of nature's most concentrated sources of zinc. And zinc is absolutely essential for hair tissue growth and repair. But here's what makes pumpkin seeds especially powerful for women over 60. They contain compounds called phytosterols that can actually help block the conversion of testosterone to DHT, which is the hormone that miniaturizes hair follicles and causes pattern hair loss. Even though we think of DHT as a male hormone issue, women have it too. And after menopause, when estrogen drops, that DHT can wreak havoc on your hair. Just a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds gives you nearly half your daily zinc requirement. Plus, they're loaded with iron, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin E. I recommend toasting them lightly with a tiny bit of sea salt and keeping them in a jar on your counter. Sprinkle them on yogurt, toss them in smoothies, or just grab a handful as a snack. Within about 6 weeks of adding pumpkin seeds to your daily routine, many women notice their hair feels stronger and they're seeing less shedding. Now, food number 4 is going to make you happy because it's absolutely delicious. Wild-caught salmon. I'm talking about the deep pink, richly flavored fish that's bursting with omega-3 fatty acids. Here's why this matters so much for your hair. Those omega-3s reduce inflammation throughout your entire body, including in your scalp. And inflammation is one of the hidden culprits behind hair loss that nobody talks about enough. Chronic low-level inflammation can damage hair follicles and push them into the shedding phase prematurely. But omega-3s do something else that's equally important. They help your body produce sebum, which is the natural oil that keeps your scalp moisturized and your hair shiny and resilient. As we age, our scalps tend to become drier, which makes hair more brittle and prone to breakage. Salmon also delivers high-quality protein, which is essential because your hair is literally made of protein, and it provides vitamin D, which plays a crucial role in creating new hair follicles. Try to eat wild-caught salmon at least twice a week. If fresh salmon is too expensive, frozen wild-caught salmon is just as nutritious and often much more affordable. Bake it with lemon and herbs. Toss it with salad or make a simple salmon salad with Greek yogurt instead of mayo. The healthy fats in salmon also help your body absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K, which brings me to our next food. Food number 3 is one that might already be in your refrigerator, but I'm guessing you're not eating it nearly as often as you should. Eggs, specifically whole eggs with the yolk. For decades, we were told to avoid egg yolks because of cholesterol concerns, but that advice has been completely overturned. The yolk is where all the nutrients are. And for hair health, eggs are an absolute goldmine. They're one of the best sources of biotin, which is a B vitamin that's essential for producing keratin, the protein that makes up your hair structure. Biotin deficiency is surprisingly common in women over 60, and it's one of the fastest paths to thinning brittle hair. But eggs don't just give you biotin. They're loaded with high-quality protein that contains all the essential amino acids your body needs to build new hair. They're rich in iron, which carries oxygen to your hair follicles. They contain vitamin B12, which helps create red blood cells that nourish your scalp. And they're one of the few food sources of vitamin D, which, as I mentioned, helps create new follicles. Here's something most people don't realize. How you cook your eggs matters. Scrambled, poached, or soft-boiled eggs preserve more of the biotin than hard-boiled eggs because high heat for too long can reduce biotin availability. I recommend eating 2 eggs daily, prepared however you enjoy them most. Some women see noticeable improvements in hair thickness and strength within just 8 to 12 weeks of consistently eating eggs daily. Now we're getting to the top 2, and this is where things get really exciting. Food number 2 is something that ancient cultures have prized for centuries, and modern science is finally catching up to their wisdom. Lentils. These humble little legumes are an absolute powerhouse for hair health, especially for women over 60. Here's why. First, they're incredibly rich in iron, and iron deficiency is one of the most common nutritional causes of hair loss in women, particularly after menopause when monthly periods stop, and many women assume they don't need to worry about iron anymore. But your hair follicles need iron-rich blood to grow. Without adequate iron, hair growth slows down and shedding increases. Lentils provide non-heme iron, which is the plant-based form, and when you pair them with vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes or bell peppers, your body absorbs that iron much more efficiently. But lentils don't stop there. They're loaded with folic acid, which helps your body create red blood cells that carry oxygen and nutrients to your scalp and hair follicles. They're rich in protein, giving you about 18 grams per cup, which is remarkable for a plant food, and they contain zinc, biotin, and silica, all of which strengthen hair from the inside out. The beauty of lentils is their versatility. You can add them to soups, make them into a hearty salad, blend them into dips, or use them as a base for veggie burgers. Red lentils cook in just 15 minutes and have a mild, slightly sweet flavor. Green and brown lentils hold their shape better for salads. Try to include lentils or other legumes in your diet 3 to 4 times per week, and you'll be giving your hair the nutritional foundation it needs to thrive. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the number 1 food to stop hair loss in women over 60. This is the food that combines more hair-healthy nutrients in one package than anything else you can eat. This is what I recommend to every woman concerned about thinning hair. Are you ready? It's Greek yogurt, particularly full fat, plain Greek yogurt. And I can already hear some of you saying, wait, isn't dairy bad for you? Won't full fat yogurt make me gain weight? Let me tell you why those concerns are misplaced and why Greek yogurt deserves the number 1 spot. Greek yogurt is incredibly protein dense, giving you about 17 grams of protein in just 6 ounces, which is more than most people get in an entire meal. And remember, your hair is made of protein. Without adequate protein intake, your body simply cannot build strong, healthy hair. In fact, one of the first places your body pulls resources from during protein deficiency is your hair, because from a survival standpoint, your hair isn't essential, so your body will sacrifice hair health to maintain organ function. But protein is just the beginning. Greek yogurt contains vitamin B5, also called pantothenic acid, which helps with blood flow to your scalp and stimulates hair growth. It's rich in vitamin D, which we now know is crucial for follicle health and hair cycling. It contains calcium, and from my experience, research has shown that calcium plays a role in the secretion of hormones and enzymes that affect hair growth. Here's where it gets even better. Greek yogurt is a probiotic food, meaning it contains beneficial bacteria that support gut health, and there's an increasingly clear connection between gut health and hair health. When your gut isn't functioning optimally, you don't absorb nutrients efficiently, which means even if you're eating all the right foods, your hair might not be getting the benefits. The probiotics in yogurt also help reduce inflammation throughout your body, including in your scalp. And full-fat Greek yogurt in particular helps you feel satisfied longer, which means you're less likely to reach for sugary snacks that spike your blood sugar and contribute to inflammation and hormone imbalances that damage hair follicles. Now, about that full-fat concern. My understanding, based on current research, is that full-fat dairy doesn't cause weight gain when consumed as part of a balanced diet. And the fat in full-fat yogurt actually helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins it contains, like vitamin D. Plus, full-fat yogurt has a lower glycemic impact than low-fat or non-fat versions, which often have added sugars or starches to improve texture and taste. Those added sugars can actually contribute to the very inflammation and hormone disruption that damages your hair. The best way to incorporate Greek yogurt into your daily routine is to have it for breakfast or as a snack. Add a handful of those pumpkin seeds we talked about for extra zinc. Throw in some berries for antioxidants and vitamin C. Maybe drizzle a tiny bit of honey if you need sweetness, and you've created a hair-healthy powerhouse meal. Some women also use Greek yogurt as a base for smoothies, as a substitute for sour cream, or mixed with herbs as a dip for vegetables. The key is consistency. When you eat Greek yogurt daily for at least 3 months, along with regularly including the other 4 foods on this list, you're giving your hair everything it needs at the cellular level to stop excessive shedding, strengthen existing strands, and encourage new healthy growth. Let me share something important about expectations and timing, because I don't want you to feel discouraged if you don't see results overnight. Hair grows in cycles, and the average hair growth rate is about 1/2 inch per month. When a follicle has been damaged or has gone into a resting phase due to nutritional deficiency, it takes time for that follicle to wake up and produce new hair. Most women start noticing less hair shedding within 4 to 6 weeks of improving their nutrition. You'll notice fewer hairs in your brush, less hair circling the drain, less hair on your pillow. This is the first sign that your follicles are getting healthier. Within 8 to 12 weeks, you might notice that your existing hair feels stronger, looks shinier, and breaks less easily. And within 4 to 6 months, many women start seeing actual new growth, especially around the hairline and crown, which are often the first areas to thin. Those little baby hairs poking up are a beautiful sign that your follicles are revitalized and actively growing new strands. Now, I want to address something crucial. These 5 foods are powerful, but they work best as part of an overall healthy approach to hair care. You also need to stay well hydrated, drinking at least 8 glasses of water daily, because dehydration makes hair brittle. You need adequate sleep, because hair growth happens during deep sleep when your body is in repair mode. You need to manage stress, because chronic stress pushes hair follicles into the shedding phase. And you need to be gentle with your hair. Avoid excessive heat styling, tight hairstyles that pull on your roots, and harsh chemical treatments. But when you combine mindful hair care with the nutritional foundation these 5 foods provide, you're giving yourself the absolute best chance of not just stopping hair loss, but actually improving your hair's thickness, strength, and vibrancy. One question I often get is whether supplements can replace these foods. The short answer is no. While supplements can help fill specific gaps, particularly if you have a diagnosed deficiency, there's something called the food matrix effect that makes whole foods more powerful than isolated nutrients. When you eat whole foods, you're getting not just the main nutrients we think about like protein or iron, but also hundreds of other compounds, antioxidants, enzymes, and cofactors that work synergistically to improve absorption and effectiveness. Real food also satisfies your body in a way that pills simply can't. That said, if you struggle to eat enough of these foods, or if testing shows you have specific deficiencies, I encourage you to talk to your trusted healthcare provider about whether supplements might be beneficial alongside your dietary improvements. I also want to mention a few foods you should consider limiting if hair health is your goal. Refined sugar and processed carbohydrates spike your blood sugar and increase inflammation, which can damage follicles. Excessive alcohol dehydrates your body and depletes B vitamins that are essential for hair growth. Too much mercury-containing fish like tuna or swordfish can actually contribute to hair loss. And crash diets or very low-calorie eating patterns deprive your body of the nutrients and energy it needs to grow hair. Because again, from a survival perspective, your body will always prioritize essential functions over hair growth. Here's something I find really empowering. When you focus on nourishing your hair from the inside out with these 5 foods, you're not just improving your hair, you're improving your overall health. The same nutrients that strengthen your hair also support your skin, boost your immune system, improve your energy levels, strengthen your bones, and support healthy aging. The protein and healthy fats support muscle maintenance and brain health. The vitamins and minerals support heart health and mood. So this isn't just about vanity or appearance. It's about taking care of your whole self in a way that happens to have the beautiful side effect of healthier, fuller hair. I want to leave you with this thought. Your hair tells the story of what's happening inside your body. Thinning hair, excessive shedding, dullness, and breakage are all signs that something is out of balance, that your body needs something it's not getting. Instead of seeing hair loss as an inevitable part of aging that you just have to accept, what if you saw it as your body's way of communicating with you, asking for the nutrients it needs to thrive? These 5 foods, Greek yogurt, lentils, eggs, wild-caught salmon, and pumpkin seeds, are your answer to that call. They're readily available, affordable, versatile, and backed by solid science. When you make them a regular part of your daily eating, you're not just hoping for better hair. You're actively building it, strand by strand, from the inside out. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You've tried everything. You've spent money on treatments. You've followed advice from friends. Nothing worked. But here's why this is different. These aren't trendy superfoods that cost a fortune. These are scientifically backed nutritional powerhouses that address the actual biological reasons why women over 60 experience hair loss in the first place. And when I reveal food number 1, the one that I, in my clinical experience, find to be recommended consistently by those dedicated to hair health, but that most women aren't eating enough of, I guarantee you'll want to add it to your shopping list immediately. Let's talk about what's actually happening to your hair as you age, because understanding this will help you see why these specific foods are so powerful. After menopause, your estrogen levels drop significantly, and estrogen is one of the hormones that keeps your hair in its growth phase longer. Without enough estrogen, hair shifts into the shedding phase faster, which means you're losing hair before it has a chance to grow long and strong. At the same time, your body's ability to absorb certain nutrients decreases with age, particularly iron and protein, which are absolutely critical for hair health. Add to that the fact that blood circulation to the scalp naturally decreases as we get older, and you've got a perfect storm for thinning hair. But the beautiful thing is that each of the 5 foods I'm sharing today specifically targets one or more of these underlying causes. So here's my challenge to you for the next 90 days. Commit to including these 5 foods in your diet as regularly as possible. Take a photo of your hair today from multiple angles. Notice how much hair you're currently shedding in the shower and on your brush. Write down how your hair feels right now, whether it's thin, brittle, dull, or lifeless. Then check back in after 3 months. I think you'll be amazed at the difference. And if you found this information helpful, do me a favor, share it with another woman who might be struggling with hair loss. We need to stop accepting thinning hair as something we just have to live with and start empowering each other with the knowledge that real, lasting change is possible through simple nutritional choices. Your hair can be healthier, fuller, and more vibrant at 60, 70, and beyond. These 5 foods are your roadmap to getting there.